if you're a copywriter, the position that you're in is the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to personal growth in this business and skill set. I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips. Hey, look, I know you didn't want to hear that, but I serve copywriters, marketers, and business development professionals. And if you're a copywriter, whether you're a freelance copywriter or an employee, the skills that you have today could be applied in a different way to achieve a completely different outcome. Let me explain. First off, as a copywriter working for an agency or working for a client on a per piece item, you're really getting paid per piece. Now, you've broken a little bit of that dollars for hours, and that's great, but maybe you haven't. Maybe you're a salaried copywriter. But the skill set you have, you've probably noticed it has a lot of value to the organization you're working with. And very often they can take a letter and turn it to $1 million. They can take a letter and mail it multiple times and save the significant amount of money that they would have spent hiring a salesperson or having a whole office full of outbound callers. And it's a unique position to be in. In the world of content marketing, you're able to write materials and measure their results. Now, hopefully you're not just churning out articles, because that is literally the bottom of the totem pole. You can get a press release for $99. You can get 90 articles for $99. You can get a sales letter for nothing. And that's because at the bottom of the pyramid, at the bottom of the totem pole, is a massive number of copywriters. Now, don't get me wrong. I love copywriters. I think they're the greatest thing because you're implementing a skill that is very scalable. But here's the thing. Please do not stay as a copywriter. If you're going to stay as a copywriter and you're going to trade dollars or hours for dollars, then hopefully you're retired. Hopefully you have other streams of income. Hopefully it's just a passion play. But you will not, from a career perspective, elevate yourself. And I know a lot of folks are experiencing this. They tell me all the time, hey, look, I've been writing for years. I'm still writing. I don't have any residuals. I don't have any growth. I hear all these people talk about these things. Well, those folks who are talking about residuals, they're talking about growth, they're talking about joint venture opportunities, they're not just a copywriter. See, they're not just putting words on a page. They've gone into what's called marketing consulting or business development, where they're actually helping an organization use words that sell in a constructive and effective way to grow their business. See, anybody can put words on paper. And as you know, there are ways to put words on paper that are more influential than other ways. But putting the words on paper has a limited scale. Sure, it scales for the client who can send 1,000 letters or 10,000 letters. But for you still have to write the letters one at a time. A marketing consultant is a slightly different approach where you're going to have research assistants, you're going to have just a general assistant. You're going to have folks helping you along the way so that when you do spend time writing, you're able to focus 100% of your time, your focus there. But you may also be in a position where when you write, you have royalties on the back end. You have joint ventures, co-marketing opportunities. You have ways of building your own list, building other people's lists. You have ways of generating secondary and tertiary revenue. A copywriter alone doesn't have the opportunity to get speaking engagements that could fill their copywriting workflow. So the shift to consultant or marketing consultant is not just a mindset shift. It is actually understanding what is necessary to elevate your client, to take them to the next level. I'm going to share with you 3 key functions that will help you transition from a copywriter to a marketing consultant. This is going to help you be more effective in your day-to-day activities. It's going to help you get better results for your clients and overall produce better incomes. First off, you need an assistant. You need somebody to handle scheduling, to set up your appointments, to do a bit of outbound marketing so that you can increase the flow of your overall assignments. Number 2, you need a system for completing assignments that can easily plug in a cub copywriter or a second copywriter. Number 3 is that you need to present yourself not as putting words on a page, but results oriented. You help clients create and keep profitable customers. That's what I do. I help clients create and keep profitable customers. Well, how do you do that? Well, I do that through a variety of means, which includes copywriting, marketing, so on and so on and so on. Now, I've elevated beyond that. I only work with companies that we can do joint ventures. They need to have $1 million opportunities. And ultimately, they are in a position to pay out a 6-figure ticket for every transaction. I also write technical materials, so I tend to work with companies that have heavy regulations, whether it's in their sales side or on their operational side. But again, what I do now is the result of years of cultivation. What you do to get to the next level is add an assistant. The assistant is going to manage your day-to-day project work. They're going to manage your day-to-day schedule, and you're going to focus on delivering results. So you're going to have higher level of billable hours if you're billing by hours. Hopefully you're shifting to a project-based approach, but you're going to close more projects, complete more work, and the money will come in more consistently. Now, your assistant can handle the bookkeeping. They can handle other aspects of your calendar. There's a lot of functions that they may have. But eventually, you'll elevate to have somebody doing your books for you, somebody doing your invoicing for you, and then you're in an oversight role. So as you shift from doing everything to doing the most important things, you're going to start replacing yourself, and that's the second element. You're going to start replacing yourself with others who can do the same work as you. Maybe they can do 60% of the work that you do. But they're going to be specialists that you're going to plug into a process for delivering work for your clients. You're going to add more consultative roles. So you're going to train these internal folks, try to get them to 100%. But you're also going to use those trainings in order to train your clients and get in a position where you're now advising your clients rather than simply doing the work for your clients. Now, a lot of clients don't want advice. They don't want consulting. They want the results. But again, you can help them from a project management perspective. You can help them from a just-in-time perspective, meaning they don't have to have 5 copywriters on staff because you got 5 copywriters on staff, and you can be available when they need you through your team. And then finally, start moving towards a higher ticket. That higher ticket is going to finance all this, but it might mean you have to get new customers. So many of your customers today that are used to just hiring you for a sales letter, they may not care if you do anything else. In fact, they might be working with somebody like me who sources copywriters to write the sales letters while I help them with strategy, business optimization, process design, their controls, their regulatory aspects, how the business operates, the operational side. But think about this. If you're just writing copy, it's a job. That's all it is. It's a job. You probably have what's called roller coaster income, where you're writing a bunch of assignments, and then you have this big time on the beach where there's no assignments, and then you go out and find some assignments, and then you got assignments, you're busy, and then there's no assignments, and it's back and forth. If you want to break that cycle, it's about upgrading to the next level. And there's nothing wrong, by the way, with just being a copywriter. If you want to just be a copywriter and you want to write better copy, that's great. But if nobody knows that you write copy that sells, if nobody knows that you exist, and nobody understands what it is that you do, then you could be the best copywriter in the universe and nobody really gives a damn. You wouldn't be applying that information or those resources or that insight anywhere. So in order to apply it, it's a new business. It's a different model. And the consulting model is actually a bridge to what you may have if you open an agency or if you open a business development firm. Now, a business development firm, I've done that a number of times, and that's where I'm at. I, for example, worked with a call center in India and helped them find space in the United States and tried to arrange buildings, tried to arrange telecom, everything that they would need to basically plug in over here. It was a finder's fee basis. To be fair, they did not choose my location, and they did have other people that were doing what I was doing here, but it didn't take anything away from my day-to-day activities to cultivate the relationships, to find the sites, and to work with the business development people in my region in order to see if this was a good location for that client. If you have questions about how that works, we can talk about that too. A marketing consultant, if you decide to go the agency route, is actually very useful because there's an unlimited supply of freelance copywriters out there. And you can backfill projects with copywriters off the street. And many of them do excellent work. But again, it's that, if you're spending 40 hours a week writing copy, you're not spending any time looking for new clients. And if you're spending time looking for new clients, then obviously you're not writing any copy. So again, the agency model gives you a little flexibility. The consulting era agency model gives you a little bit of flexibility because a lot of your administrative work is handled for you. And then you have staff backfilling. It could be researchers in the beginning. It could be a junior copywriter. It could be proofreaders. It could be editors. And again, these people don't have to be employees. They can be from a pool of contractors. But again, you're not trying to do everything yourself. So that's probably the biggest mindset shift. Anyway, I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips. I am certainly glad to help copywriters write copy better, but I wanted to reveal to you the better opportunity, which is to elevate yourself from simply being a copywriter to starting the consulting side, which will plus your business. It gives you residual revenues. I didn't really talk about that, but there are residual opportunities as a consultant. It gives you a better scale so that you're not the only one in the office that is doing the work. And it requires a slight mindset shift where you're now selling marketing services, marketing the outcomes rather than simply just doing the writing. Thanks for listening. I'm here to help copywriters, marketers, and business development professionals improve their opportunity and their business when it comes to, well, not really just improve, but to transform their business into really what delivers that prosperity that they're looking for. Thanks for listening.